Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to the barn today. A cool Thursday. This is Larry 73 that I've been tearing down. What's up, Charlie? But we kind of show you, kind of see what I got going on there with the windshield area, the lip and stuff, the nose area. But got a little bit. This bus had a lot of silicone on it, so a lot of these tracks, I mean, the tracking's good, but there's a lot of pinholes and stuff. You can't see it from where I pulled the last bits of the seals and stuff out, but along the side quarters and stuff, the glass, we got some rust issues, so I'm going to be fixing that. The rear hatch looked good. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. Oops, sorry. Some pinholes here and stuff. I'm going to end up cutting that rod out because it's so gone. I'm not going to be able to put a weld to it. It'll just burn through it, and I'm not going to Bondo it because that's not how I do things. So there's a good one there. A little bit on this L here. So I'm just going to use some common, probably 18 gauge steel. Probably get by with just using 20. I'll just have to see what I have laying around. This isn't really structural. This is just keeping the water out and the window in. So that'll just use some common steel for that. What I have going on here, this nose section came from EIS. It is the lower windshield repair complete panel. You can get just the channels here. Which I have. Let's see if I can track that stuff down. This is my parts. This is very organized, isn't it? But yeah, you can get these channels like this. These have been roughly shaped, but you can kind of see the curvature that you get of the windshield. Basically, I was going to use this on the double cab over there. It had rot when I was considering not knocking out the nose, but of course I ended up just going through Classic Fab and replacing the whole nose there. But yeah, this is the repair section, and of course this is pretty self-explanatory. But a lot of times, we see that sticker is. A lot of times the seals go bad, and these buses sit, and water just retains in that little channel and just sits there. Well, you know, long enough, and it starts rusting through, and just causes a big nasty mess. Even with good seals, they'll still leak. And if the rot and rust is bad enough, it makes it to where the pinch weld, you know, it's pretty, you know, basically like the channel locks are doing there. It's pinching. There's an inner, which you see on this gray skin here. There's an outer skin, and an inner skin that's more of a structural element, and they pinch together, and that's the pinch weld. And this here is what you actually retain the windshield in. The same with the side and back glass. The glass is pinched with the seal between the metal framing. As a matter of fact, you can see the line here. So that gap between the two, my finger is on, of course, the outside element of it, the outside exterior portion, and the inside pinch weld is going to be your structural. So that'll be actually part of the A-frame, the A-pillar. You can see here that the nose section is going to be going up about 2.5, 3 inches up, which is good. This side actually looked okay, but I'm probably just going to keep it and notch it as is there. The driver's side actually has some pretty significant rot in the corner here, so this piece is perfect for it. And this piece is already shaped. The problem is when you get this section that I was initially showing you is it's way off, and you have to shape a lot of it. And I didn't like the way that it was turning out. That's why I ended up buying the entire nose for this. Of course, the front of it was caved in and everything. That was the direction easiest for that project. But for this one, not only does it have rot along the channel there, you can kind of see here, still getting used to this new phone, this new camera, a little bit more detail. The windshield was out of this bus, and you have some dents up here. So my guess, watching CSI, this bus probably had a tree fall on it. And in doing so, caved in the roof section there, busted the windshield, which was removed by a previous owner, and the bust took a blow on the nose section, because there's dents under here that's being hidden behind this panel in this section. But if you look in here, you can see this gap. You can see this gap where this is hit. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get my cut wheel and get this started and get my gibbler on there, which is just an air tool, not a chisel, but basically just cuts away. And we're going to continue this line and we're going to cut. Of course, I'm going to have a little bit more to remove because the metal is stacked, and when it's stacked, it's pushing out, so the geometry is off just a little bit. But I'd always rather have to cut again versus adding more metal than I need to. I was contemplating perhaps just using the section until it gets good here, and then welding that section in. But I like the idea of just using the piece continuous. It's nice thick metal, it's not cheap, I think it's going to look good. And the main reason for that too is when I separate the exterior skin, when I cut to be able to weld this in off the original nose, that's going to expose the back half of this, and I'll get my hammer and dolly and see if I can't work this out. This dude's going to be tough because of the seam line. I may actually, when it comes time, you know, when I'm blast and I'm starting to do primer and paint, body work, stuff like that, I'll probably have to use, we'll see, but I'll probably have to use some type of filler to replicate the crispness of that line, because as you can see, I mean, it's just punched in. But once we cut this out, we can check out, see what's going on here. I can hammer and dolly that out. I may be able to replicate that with a couple of my dollies. Maybe even have to use a piece of wood, a piece of flat steel, you know, some 1/2-inch flat steel, and see if I can't hammer that and replicate that body line. But we're going to clean that up. This won't be too bad. This is where the metal is stretched, so I'll have to hammer and dolly that. But that's what we got going on today. I'm loving the weather, so I don't mind coming in here and kind of busting my ass, because I'm used to sweating all summer, and that's not the case anymore. So today really is going to be the start of doing some cutting. I don't like to cut until I have metal, and that's kind of why I'm starting with the direction of the windshield section, since I have the metal in already. The stuff on the sides is not too difficult. Just some flat metal replacement, and I got a couple spots I need to do over here to replace some L-shape metal for the pinch weld and stuff for the lip, for the seals. Headliner's out on this side. Let me see if I can't hammer some of this dude out. There's another one in the rear corner on the passenger corner back there. But yeah, starting to cut and hammer a little bit on this bus. It's a very straight bus, it's a very dry bus, but of course, you know, 45, 50-year-old vehicle, weather takes its elements, and, you know, takes its toll on stuff. And seal should have been replaced 20 years ago, and someone just had caulking and stuff and silicone all over it. And of course, that didn't do anything. So stay tuned, guys.